Hello, it's Monday and I'm ready to go. I did not go up yesterday, although I intended to, because I slept in until like 1:40 in the afternoon. I have not been sleeping, and Ambien is not good for me. So my doctor told me to try this new medication, and I only take it when the kids are not with me. So like Saturday night was the first night that I could try taking it, and it was effective, but I woke up at 7 and I was like, that's, it's the weekend. I should just let myself sleep in if I can. And then I woke up at 1:40 and I was like, is the clock broken? So we still need to tinker a bit with that medication. Or I need to figure out some other way to sleep. Anyways, so I didn't go up yesterday. And I also didn't buy my hammock yet. So that's the first place I'm gonna go. I know they have hammocks at Walmart, so we're gonna take a trip to Walmart. Okay, time to drive now, bye. Okay, here's what I went with. I decided to get a 2-person hammock because I have a feeling that Henry's gonna wanna jump in there with me. So it holds up to 500 pounds. I think we should be good. Oh, also following up on one of the open questions from, I don't know, some other day we were up there. Island Supreme is a kind of fertilizer that is typically used for tropical plants and like fruit trees. So that was some kind of fertilizer. And I looked to see how much each of those like plant tubs costs, and I couldn't find one that was like the exact same like lowish quality as the ones that are up there. The ones that I looked at were like probably more substantial, and they were $3 each. So I mean, we know it was at maximum $3 each, probably less, but yeah, I have to go up there and count them, and then we can figure out how much money they spent on those plant pots and then just ditched them up there. It's raining. So yeah, my plan to do the GoPro video on the way home. I mean, there's still a lot of day left. It might change, but I don't know how much I'm gonna want to lay in a hammock in the rain. I can at least try putting it up though. I love that this intersection is still called 5 Trees, even though one of the trees fell over and doesn't exist anymore, but everyone just still calls it 5 Trees. Okay, I'm here. Looks like a nice day. It's not raining, so I got lucky. Sometimes when you come over that last ridge, the weather just completely changes. But I think today we're gonna have to do sunscreen and bring a sweatshirt, because it looks like the weather's probably gonna change a few times. Okay, so first things first, we're gonna do some sunscreen action. Prop you up. Not working. Come on. Do I need to get some kind of a stand for my phone or whatever? Okay. So, yeah, we learned the other day that even when it looks like it's going to be cloudy or it looks like I'm going to be wearing a sweatshirt, something's going weird with my phone. I don't know what it's doing. Yeah, whatever. I'm doing sunscreen, but I can't do it one-handed. What am I going to do today? So I'm going to walk up to where I'm going to put the hammock. I think what does it do? Okay, I think I figured out what the problem was. It was that the car was still on. That's the problem with having an electric car, is it's so quiet that sometimes you accidentally leave it on when you think that it's off. So yeah. Yeah, that seems to be working better. It was weird. Yeah, so today what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk up to where I'm gonna put the hammock, and I think I'm gonna try and clear that path a bit wider, because I have some friends who want to come up here, and like, I don't know, I don't think that they're really gonna be wild about getting their legs all scratched up, and also when you can't see where you're stepping, it's a lot easier to fall. And I really don't want people to come up here and then fall down and get hurt. You know, if it happens to me, it's like whatever. I'm a big girl, but I don't know. I don't want anyone else to get hurt. And then I think because I have all day, I don't have to be home for any reason. I think I'm going to walk over to where I put all that pile of junk, and I'm going to count how many plant tubs I got. And then if I can, I'm going to start moving that stuff down the hill. I don't have a truck, but at some point I'm going to want to take all that stuff to the dump. So I'm going to eventually want to move it back down here to where I'll be able to easily load it up. So that's probably going to take me a while because it's going to be a bunch of trips with a bunch of junk. But it's good. It's more fun than going to the gym. Also, I went for my beach walk yesterday, and I stepped on a rock because my flip-flop fell off at this like rocky part. And so I have this owie on the bottom of my foot. I don't know. It's going to hurt, but I don't think I'm going to hurt myself worse by walking on it. And even though the other day when it was like rainy, I was like, oh, I should have worn my hiking boots. I'm choosing to wear my sneakers again because I have both and I'm choosing the sneakers. So if later I'm like, oh, that was stupid, then we all know I anticipated this. Okay, so I'm up at the place where I'm going to set up this hammock, and I'm going to try doing that like thing where you throw the item and then later you cut to video where it's already installed, because I feel like that's like a dorky thing that like is popular to do right now, and I want to see if I can do it. Okay, here we go. Okay, and I'm gonna see if there's a place where I can prop up my camera to take like a time-lapse video of me trying to install this thing, because I think I really don't know what I'm doing, and it might be funny. Ta-da! Okay, so that really didn't take me very long at all. Yeah, I think I'm gonna like it. I'm gonna get in it, and I will give you one guess what I'm gonna do. Wait, what? Oh man, I just recorded a video of me cracking open my Diet Coke, but I thought it was recording, but it wasn't, because I'm a ding-dong. Well, anyways, that's what I'm doing in my hammock. And I decided this is going to be the head side so that I can look out at the pretty view. But it's too low, so I need to raise this side up and lower the other side. But first things first, I need to have a few sips. Okay, yeah, this is way better. I just like also put the anchor strap a little higher on the tree. So now I have a much better angle. Yeah, it's really comfortable, which I think might be bad for me, because now instead of doing work, I'm going to be more tempted to just like lounge. So maybe I'll have to have some more discipline about whether I bring it from the car right away or if I let myself put it up as a reward after I've done some work. I don't know. But right now I'm just going to chill. And I think I'm just going to sit and see if I observe any deer. I was messaging with this lady who ran the junior lifeguard program last year that my daughter did, and she's a hunter. And so I was like, do you think I could hunt here? And she was like, yeah, you're going to have to carry meat down, which I can do. I'm strong. But I think I want to just kind of like watch and see if I am quiet and not being a ding-dong. Will I see the deer and what they're doing? So I think that the hammock is like a good spot for me to do that. So we'll see. This is the view from the hammock. So, you know, pretty awesome. Okay, so I quietly laid in the hammock with no headphones for a full Diet Coke, and I didn't see any deer. I think I heard a deer, but it was different than that moo that I heard the other day, which I have since learned is a female bark, like warning other deer that there's someone sus nearby. But I did see a bunch of cool birds. I can hear even more. And there's a bunch of different kinds of butterflies and moths. So it's nice to just like sit and listen. But now I feel like I need to get to work. So I'm gonna start working now. Bye. I'm gonna start by clearing this a little bit better. And I like working from the top down because then when I cut stuff, it doesn't fall on me. I don't know. And I get to look at that. Okay, so I spent 30 minutes on this guy. And it's like, I don't know, a lot better than it was. It's still not easy, but at least if anybody comes up here with me, they're not gonna get all scratched up on this part. Okay, now I'm gonna do the next part. All right, it's raining, so I'm gonna take a break and go eat something. But I spent 30 minutes on this part, and now it's also not perfect, but people aren't gonna get scratched up, so we're not gonna prevent anyone from becoming a leg model. And then after I eat, and if the rain stops, I'm gonna come do this part. Okay, so actually laying in the hammock sideways is more comfortable than laying the long way. And I think it's because this thing can support my head better. And maybe I need to get some kind of like a hammock pillow. Did they make those? And this is what we're eating. Not the best, but whatever. It's really coming down. Luckily I'm from Oregon, so I don't really care about getting wet. But it was too wet where I put the hammock, so now I'm just kind of standing under the tree. I ate my protein bar, and now check out the rain. Can you tell that it's raining? I don't know how good the camera is. Maybe I should walk over to the waterfall again. Somebody get the stick! That was a Dr. Evil quote, obviously. And guess what? I'm not regretting my choice to wear my sneakers because even though they're all wet and muddy, I just really don't care. I'm fine with being uncomfortable in my gear because I know that anytime I want, I could just bail, get in my car, put on dry clothes, and leave. But I'm enjoying myself, so I'm not going to do that. Okay, well, we knew this was going to happen. The side quests have begun. And again, I'm a ding-dong and I didn't wear gloves. We're already collecting more pots. And I see something up there that looks... Do you see that green thing? What do we think that is? We're going to go find out what that thing is. Do you see it? Let me see if I can zoom in. That. What is that? That looks like a paint roller or something. Let's go see. Oh, it's just more garbage. Who here is surprised? And there's a jug over there. This is weird. There's also a jug up there that they like cut it into like a different shape. I don't know, but that's it really in there. I don't want to get all scratched up. So I'm going to take this bottle and call it good. Okay, so I counted how many there are, and there's 103. Those are just the ones that I collected so far. There's a bunch that I didn't collect yet. But 103, I mean, that's a lot to carry up here and not do anything with. So I walked over to where that tarp is stuck under that rock. And again, I didn't bring any tools, so I'd had to just leave it there. But I didn't find any place where you would say there's like running water, or even any place where like water drips, even one drop at a time off of a rock. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's no such thing as a waterfall here. But check this out. Water catchment happening in my junk pile. All right, so since it's raining and I'm already all wet, and I don't really care about being wet, I decided that from here, I'm gonna hike the rest of this trail that goes over to like the place where we have a picnic table. So I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, and this area, it never had as much of that like really pokey bushes as the other part did. Because this area, it's always been more like big trees. This is coffee, but it's always had like more big trees and shade. And so it doesn't have all that little scrubby stuff that grows where it's more dry. Okay. And this right here, this is a mango tree that my almost ex-husband wanted to plant. It looks like it's doing well. Okay. What's like the nice phrase to use for almost ex-husband? I don't want to say his name because I don't think he really wants to be part of my little Instagram and YouTube experiment. But I also, like, if my kids ever see these, I don't want them to think I'm calling him that. Like, should I just call him my kid's dad? He's a nice guy. That just wasn't working out, so. But I don't really like referring to him as my ex, because at this point, you know, he's not mine anymore. He's his own person. So, anyway. We haven't cleared this trail in a while, but it looks okay. So yeah, there's some of this stuff, but not that much. Oh, there's a red bird over there. I saw a red bird earlier during observation time on the hammock. And I think I've looked those up before. It's like a juvenile of some type of bird that's red right now, and then when it gets older, it turns gray. Okay, this is the view from over here. We can again see that house that's in the middle of the cinder cone. Oop. How do I zoom back to normal? Okay. Did you know I have a computer science degree? So all the times when I seem like a real idiot with technology, that's just because I'm not good at using it. But I understand how it all works. Okay, so a tree fell down at some point. Cool. And we got a lot of spider webs here. But I have my stick. I don't have a Diet Coke. That's why I'm able to do this. Yeah, a lot of spider webs happening here. And I've been feeding the mosquitoes all day. They're happy to have me. A little variety in their diet so they don't have to just eat the deer, I guess. Okay. Oh, I've seen those like videos people are doing on the internet where they're like, what are you training for? And be specific. So I should do one of me like doing a static bicep curl with a weight, because that's my phone, and then holding like a really light barbell or something and going up and down with some kind of a shoulder exercise, because it's me holding my phone and swiping the stick to get rid of spider webs. Would that be silly? And then I'd be on the stair climber. That would be my video. Okay, well, you can just imagine, because I'm not going to actually do that. I'm not really that interested. Okay, so these are the platforms that my friend and her family came up and like built these like rock walls, and then they flattened these out. So we have some places where we can put tents and camp. And they actually did that once. They camped here one night, which I'm kind of jealous. I was nervous to do it, but I'll do it at some point. Just haven't done it yet. And this is where we have the tire swing, which I found from here's another of these flat spots that they made. So I found this tire. It was just garbage, and I made a tire swing. So they play here, and it's got like a really nice view. You can see my car down there. And then we have a swing. So this is what this area looks like. It's like got a few like flat terraces that those guys made. It's getting overgrown again, but it's what happens. We're not pesticides or like weed killer people, so this is all gonna have to just keep getting cleared. Either I'll get some kind of a weed whacker or hedge trimmer or something, but it's all gonna be manual. Oh, there's chickens. Hello, little chickens. I would totally eat those too. Okay. Where did I put my stick? Okay, and then down here, oh, this is funny. There was one day Lucas and I came up here and it was raining. And so he like started to make a little like tent thing over the picnic table, but clearly it fell down. Yeah, so this is where like it's nice and shady. So when I come up here with the kids, we usually have our base camp down here because we have some chairs and a spot to eat. So yeah, this is it. I just wanted to do something different today, I guess, because it's raining. Can I zoom in? Yeah, so you can see like yeah. That's it. Okay, so now I'm gonna walk back over to my hammock place. I don't know. If it's still raining, I kind of don't want to do anything else, and I'm just gonna go home. But I'm gonna try doing like a time-lapse video of me walking on the trail, because I'm not gonna talk, and it just, yeah. I'll spare you guys the full-length video. I just tripped on a log. I'm very agile, like I said. Okay, so I'm back at my spot. My shoes are full of water, which, I mean, it's fine. But I don't think this rain is really going to stop today. So I think I'm going to call it a day, go home and do some chores. And maybe I'll come back tomorrow. I don't know. I like coming up here. And I can, so yeah, maybe I'll come back tomorrow. Bye. Well, of course, as soon as I said I don't think it's going to stop raining, it basically stopped raining. But I'm committed at this point. I'm going home. Yeah. This part of the walk is so much more luxurious now, because this was like pretty crammed before. And I don't know, I only spent like an hour on it. So this is way nicer than it was. I need to do this on that upper part of the trail. You know, that's what this is what it used to look like. But if you don't clear it for months, of course it gets overgrown. This part isn't as overgrown because I've been walking it more frequently, but it could be way nicer. Pretty bird. Pretty bird. And you know that's from Dumb and Dumber, right? I'm not just like a weird girl who just like says pretty bird randomly. Okay, cool. And this is how gross my socks are. They're that wet and it's muddy water. Like, gross. Okay, I got flips on now, so we're definitely doing a cowboy shower today. Okay, I took my cowboy shower and I have an apple and doy. So I'm gonna drive back down, and that was fun. And maybe I'll come back tomorrow. Bye.